All right, so let us start a new project. Let's call it maybe arc oscillation. Cool. All right, let's open this. Let's do new file. Let's do index.html. Sure. Cool. Let's do another new file. Let's call it script.js. Perfect. And we'll have also a base style.css. Cool. In the HTML, we'll just create a base one. We'll add our script. Which will be just the name of the script, which is just script.js. Let's move this at the end of the body. Let's add a main. All right, let's call this arc-oscillation. Cool. I'll need the p5gs CDN as well. Oh yeah, that's fine. Cool, great. Let's copy this. Let's add this over here. Should be good. Okay. All right, and our style, let's just do body. I don't even care. Yeah, well, let's do it anyway. Yeah. So body margin 0 and canvas margin, well, let's just add it to the same as the body. Okay, perfect. Let's see. So we can use the extension. If you don't have it, you can use the same extension. It's called live server on VS Code or VS Codium, same thing. Live server, this one I'm using, but there might exist some other way. I mean, there is some other ways, but it's fine. All right, so whenever you have that extension up and running, you can just click on go live at the bottom here. Whenever you're selected on your HTML document, it should open up a static server for your files. Great, there you go. So now we have our page. So let's say we add h1 L world in here. We should see it. Whoa. We save it, it automatically refreshed. That's great. That's what we wanted. That's perfect. Okay, let's go back to our script. It's called function setup. Okay, let's do create canvas. And let's do 600 by 600. All right. So here. It should be there. I mean, it's probably just because the background is white that we don't see it. Let's see if we, there you go. We see it if we put a background black. That's perfect. Everything's working right now. So we will want to draw some arcs. So basically, let me see, do I have anything in here? Let me just do xcali draw. There we go, great. Okay, perfect, that's cool. So, just a pen, there we go. Let's do tick line black, yeah, okay, cool. So we'll want to draw some arcs. So basically this would be an arc. So some part of a circle. So it could be a pie, right? It could be something like this. Well, I'm not great at drawing, but right, like Pac-Man. It could be a half circle like this. It could be pretty much any part of a semicircle. Okay, cool. So let's keep our background white for the moment, or let's keep it black for the moment. I mean, it doesn't matter. Let's keep it white for the moment. It's fine. We'll draw the arc as black. So right now we'll want the draw function, which gets called on every frame, kind of, and we'll want to use the arc function. It's been a while since I've used this function, so let's just look at the reference. P5GS, and then we'll go to the reference. There we go. I mean, it's fine. References, and let's just search for the arc function. There you go. Cool. So you can see here, that's exactly what I meant. So different part of a circle. So scroll down over here. There we go. X, Y, which would be the middle of that circle, of that arc. The width, height, in our case we'll want a circle, not an ellipse. So let's do the same width and height. Start, stop would be the angle, so from 0 to 2 pi, I guess, would be a circle. And mode, I'm guessing, yeah, okay, so it's fine. We won't look at the mode for right now, and details, we will not look at that as well. Okay, great. So let's draw, let's say, just a semicircle, like just a semicircle in the middle of it. Oh, and let's place our canvas in the middle of this. Yeah, sure. Okay. And it's fine. Okay, there we go. Now it should be in the middle. Anyway, right. Save. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Oh, it's probably because it's in the main, and it doesn't matter. It does matter. Okay. Right. So x, y. Let's say in the width. Let's say at the middle. So width divided by 2, and height divided by 2 as well. And then it was start and stop. No, width and height. Yeah, width and height. Okay, so width and height. What is the width that we wanted? Let's say maybe half. For right now, let's say 200. It doesn't really matter. Okay, and let's say the start and stop angle would be, so if a full circle is from 0 to 2 pi, we'll want 0 to pi, right? So 0 start angle and the angle would be pi, right? So if we save this, there you go, we can see it. That's great. And I'm just going to roll back on this. It doesn't really matter to me. There you go. Okay, perfect. So we have our arc right now. Let's draw maybe the stroke a bit bigger. And let's make sure that the stroke is indeed black. And let's do stroke weight for the thickness of it. Maybe like, I don't know, 5. Okay, that's cool. We see our arc. Let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. There, that's one. Okay, perfect. It might be a bit pixelated. Let me also move my face. There we go. Okay, great. Okay, cool. So from this, let's just oscillate the arc thickness. So the stroke weight basically from like, let's start at 1 up to, let's say, 10, right? We just want something that oscillate. And let's do no fill as well. I don't want any fill because right now, there it is. It's just white. That's why we don't see it. But anyway, okay, so I want frame count, I believe. Frame count. Not sure, but I believe it is. Frame count. There you go. That is indeed what I want. So there is a variable in P5 called frame count. It's basically just counting the amount of frames that have been processed, right? So, and I want to oscillate based on those. I could also oscillate based on time, but it doesn't really matter to me. Let's just do it with the frame count. So based on the frame count, let's do, okay, so since we want frame, well, not this, frame, and was it capital? Yeah, capital C, count, there we go. Well, this is not going to be pretty. I mean, it's going to be tick really fast, right? There you go, right? We see it. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Maybe we won't do it with the frame count. Let's do it with, let's save, okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's do 2, yeah, okay. So let's say we have cons, like some variable called, I don't know, thickness. Great, and to start with, it's at 1. And let's say every time we draw it, we change the thickness. So if, yeah, we just change the thickness, so thickness, and we add 1 to it, right? This should give us the same result than just before. Let's see, there we go. Yeah, we get the same result as before, but what if we were to say, okay, if thickness is at some point, like, and let me do something else. Let's do like let thickness modifier. Let's just call it thickness mod. And this is going to be 1 to begin with, right? Because we want to add 1. So in here, when we do something to thickness, we want to add the thickness modifier, right? This is going to be the same result, same exact result, yeah? Okay, but we will want to say if the thickness is at, let's say our max thickness, and let's also do this as a variable, const max thickness. Let's say it's 10 for right now, and let's say const min thickness is 1. We can go down, back down here. So let's say if it is either equal to our max thickness, or if it is equal to our min thickness, we will want to do we will want to modify the thickness mod, right? So thickness mod will be multiplied equal by -1, right? So basically what this says is basically, I'll just going to rewrite it, but it's going to be saying that thickness mod will be equal to thickness mod times -1, which will either be, so if thickness mod is 1 times -1 equals 1 times -1 equals -1, right? And if thickness mod is -1 times -1, it's going to do 1, right? Because two negative number multiplied together gives us a positive number of those two multiplied numbers, right? So we'll basically switch between negative and positive, like adding to thickness as time goes on, based on when the thickness was. Give me a second. It's not working. Why is that? Is it because 10 is too small? No, that should be fine. Let's see if we have any errors. We don't seem to have any. Okay, that's a bit frustrating. What's happening here? Let's do thickness instead of Okay, it gets in here. Oh, you know what? It's because we start our thickness at 1, so we need -1, right? It does grow, but it stops. Why is that? Oh wait, no, not min thickness. Yeah, my bad. There we go. So thickness mods needs to be -1. Because we start at 1, which means it'll go through. Start at 5, who cares? Never mind. So let's do it stupidly. If thickness is equal to 1, let's do min, and our thickness mod is negative, less than 0, then we want to do thickness mod equals 1, let's say. And if thickness is the max thickness and thickness mod is greater than, is smaller than 0, it's greater than 0, then we want to switch it to minus. So it does grow. Let's start with thickness of 1, right? It grows. But then when it gets up to the max thickness, the thickness mod is greater than 0, that's true. Then the thickness mod should be going down. What's happening right now? Let's console log every value we have. We have thickness. It is changing. Let's maybe slow down the frame rate. Let's do maybe 10 frames per second. I mean, if we look at it, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8. Yeah, I mean, it's doing what it's oscillating though. Why is it not showing it? That's concerning. Our console log here is console logging what we expected. Let's think about it. Let me try taking this code and going on the online editor. Right, so let's do new. It is also not doing what we want here. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. You know what happens right now? It's doing exactly what we told it to do. Go. We did not tell it to redraw the background. Right. Yeah. That's my bad. I'm sure all of the people watching are going to tell me, but there we go. That's oscillating. That's perfect. That's what we wanted. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's cool. Yeah, my bad. There we go. now that we have it oscillating, let's draw maybe multiple of them at once, right? And let me do get thickness. Let me think, because I want multiple in a row. I don't want them to grow at the same rate. I mean, they should grow and reduce at the same rate, but they should not be timed at the same time, right? If we created a class and we had some, yeah. So my thought, or if we create a class, let's call it, I don't know, let's call it maybe arc. It doesn't matter. Or oscillation, right? It really doesn't matter. It will have one property which would be its thickness. Maybe we could have like the max thickness and min thickness as part of it, but it doesn't matter. So it would have the thickness and its thickness mod as well in it. It would also have the function, let's say, like, it would also have like the stuff that we need to update the mod of it, right? So these two if statements, right? So basically we could have that in there, which means we could say that we want the thickness to start at something different, right? To start at maybe 10 instead of 1 per different arcs that we want to draw. Because right now, let's say I wanted to draw a different arc, let's say a couple of different arcs, and they would be placed maybe at different height, right? So maybe the first one was 200, and then the second one is maybe 250, and the third one is maybe 300, and this one, let's move it a bit higher, this one as well, let's maybe say 150 and 100, right? If we do this, right, we have all of those, but my goal is to have the same thing. The only difference is I want these lines to be, how do I say this, but I don't want them to be the same thickness. I want them to be different thickness at one given time. Okay, right. Okay, let's do what I said I would do. Oh no, this is the width and height. Yeah, that should stay 200. Yeah, I mean, there we go. And maybe this would be whatever it is, like plus 10, plus 20, plus 30, plus 40. That's what I meant. Sorry. There we go. Yeah. So you see, like all of them are getting big at the same time. So let me do this. Let me create a class for it. So let me move my camera again, and let me make sure you can see this. There you go. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, great. So let me close this. Okay, great. So let's create a class for it. We'll create a new file. We'll just call it, I don't know. Let's call it, I mean, it's going to be confusing arc because we already have the function arc. So let's call it arc-oscillation, right? I'm going lowercase for my file names. It doesn't really matter what you go with. Arc oscillation, right? .js. And let's also remember to add it as part of our index.html. It's called arc-oscillation.js. There we go. Save it. No errors in here. Let's make sure. No errors. That's perfect. Even if I refresh, yeah, nothing. Okay, great. Perfect, perfect. All right, let's just remove this console log of thickness. There we go. Cool. All right. So this class, called it the same thing as the file name, just to be like oscillation. It'll have a constructor. Great. This constructor should receive pretty much the same argument as arc. The only, well, no, yeah, pretty much the same shit. Okay, let's do it. So it should receive an x, a y, a width, a height, and yeah, I'm going to put it in here, or maybe let me just call it direction. This will either be like it'll be like either top or like bottom, basically, right? Because like we want to draw arcs from here, but we also want to draw arcs from the top down, right? So something like let me show you what I mean. So here, right? Instead of 0 to pi, which is from this point, from this point to pi, which is here, we want to go from pi to 2 pi, which is also 0, but let's go from pi to 2 pi. So from pi, just to show you what I mean by top and bottom, to 2 pi. There we go. Right, so we'll have like a choice. Okay, there we go, here. So direction will be top and bottom. Let's just start with this, right? Width and height, I mean, it'll be shared by every one of those, but it doesn't matter. Let's keep it in here. So, let me think. Okay, I mean, it's just going to be assigning those variables for right now. Direction I said now, width, height. Okay. We could just say D. Yeah, I guess so. That's fine. Yeah. Just to shorten it, but you should put direction. I mean, it's a bit clearer. Great. And let's add maybe a draw function here. Or, yeah, let's add a draw function, draw method, whatever you want, method onto here. And let's add, well, no, let's just do basic arc for right now. We'll do the oscillation afterwards. So I'm just going to copy this line, place it in here, and then let's get, instead of D, let us do like this dot start and this dot end, and let's do basically if the direction is top, then if we want the top, we said the start should be pi, right? And otherwise it'll be, the start should be 0. Whoa, not 9, 0, there you go. Okay, and same thing goes here. If top going to be, the end is going to be 2 pi, otherwise it should be just pi, right? There we go. And then in here we'll just do this dot start, this dot end, there we go. This will be this dot w, and this dot h, there we go. And this will be this dot x and this dot y. Let's just copy this. There you go. Now we should have exactly the same thing as we had before if we were to use it over here. So let's do it. Let's create, let's say, let's do an array right away. No, let's just do one. Let arc-oscillation. Let it be nothing for right now. Let it be undefined, doesn't matter. And then in here, in our setup, just one time, whenever the sketch gets created, let's do a new arc-oscillation. There you go. And then we'll basically take all of these arguments, same exact ones, apart from the last two, and add, let's say we want the top one, right? Okay, there you go. And now let's remove this one. Let's just comment it out. We never know when we would need it. And do, arc oscillation dot draw. There you go. Boom. We've got the same exact thing. And if we were to say bottom, boom, we get the bottom arc. That's awesome. We're halfway there. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. Let's continue on. Okay, now what I want to also is to add to this constructor some kind of offset. Some kind of, well, I want to add the thickness. And I want to add some kind of offset to that thickness, possibly, right? Because I want to draw those same arcs at different places with some kind of small offset on the thickness, right? I don't want them to have the same thickness at the same time for one line, right? So let me think. We can do what we can do. We can pass it, maybe I want to pass it the thickness itself, right? The starting thickness, maybe the starting thickness would be some offset already built in it, or we could pass it the offset value directly, right? It doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to go with the thickness, so let's say I start at 5, and let's go to arc here. And I want to pass it the thickness. Let's call it T. I mean, sure, give better name variable for your sketch. Yeah, I mean, sure. And in here, this is when I'm going to take this. I'm going to create another function called update thickness. Let's go all out with the names. Maybe not the variable names, but let's say the meta names. Okay, update thickness. Tmod, let's call it. Yeah, sure. Okay, and then we need to define those variables, right? Right, okay. Let me just go back to script. Let me change those to var there. Just because in here, I'm going to still use those, so. Okay, so everywhere where it says thickness, it'll be this dot t. Right? Let's copy this. Let's put it here. Okay, and thickness mod now. It's going to be here. This dot t mod, let's call it. And let's start at 1. Doesn't really matter. And we'll copy this and we'll change wherever it says thickness mod to this dot t mod. There we go. Perfect. Now we should be good with the update thickness method. Now, because it's going to be it's going to update per different arcs, because they won't be on the same oscillation. Now, in the draw function, we need to update it so that it uses that new thickness that we have given it. So we can, I believe we can keep these two in the setup method, since we only want to do those once, right? It doesn't matter. We want everything to be no fill, and we want everything to be stroke 0 at all time, right? If for whatever reason you want to draw arcs with different colored stroke, right? Based on the thickness value or whatever, it doesn't matter. You might want to move those into arc-oscillation draw method as well. And you will not want those into setup, because setup only happens at the beginning of the sketch and only once, right? Draw happens at every drawing frame. So you better have it in draw, or like anything within draw. So if you put it in draw of draws of arc-oscillation, you should put it in there, right? Or anywhere in draw. As long as it's in draw, it should update every frame, right? Or whenever it's called, which is every frame. What we want though to update every frame would be the thickness, right? The stroke weight. That's what we want to update. So let's go here. Let's go and draw from our arc-oscillation call method. Let's remove thickness. We said thickness replaced by this dot t. There we go. Now, I mean, it's not moving. Why is that, right? It's because we haven't called our update thickness method yet, right? So all of this can go away. All of this can go away, and we just have this now. And we want to go at the bottom. This is the same, right? Yeah, there we go. We want to call our arc-oscillation dot update thickness method, right? There we go. Now it's doing what it's supposed to do. And let's say we want another one, right? Let's say here, we want 3 of them. And let's offset those by, I don't know, 10 pixels. Plus 20, there we go. And I want 7, 8. Oh, right. Let me do arc-oscillation 1, 2, and 3, right? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, there you go. Because I was just overwriting the same variable 3 times, which yeah, it wouldn't do anything, right? Okay, there you go. Arc-oscillation 1, let me do this. 2, whoa, 2, and 3. There you go. There you go. Right? You see already the wave. It's great. It's already working as it should. That's perfect. If we had more, we could see it even better, but we already see what we want here. Now, our question is now, how can we do like a really long row of them? One way to do it would be to just like create, I don't know, 50 variables and just set them manually, and like that would be a bit frustrating, to be honest. Other option would be just to create an array and just do loop, iterate through it, and just not have to worry about messy code like this. We would just have a loop where it do this for every of them. So let's do that, because I'm not keen on like doing 50 lines of let arc-oscillation number and then doing 50 times those and then doing 50 times those 2 lines. I mean, it's just way too horrible for it, right? So let's do an array, right? So what do we call our array? I mean, it doesn't matter. We can call it arcs with an S, just not to confuse it with arc function, or we could call it arc oscillation list. I mean, I'm going to stuck with this just because it's a bit clear. So arc oscillation list. Cool, awesome. And let's, yeah. Okay, yeah, let's just call it that. That's fine. Okay, great. Now, in here, let's do for let I is equal to 0. Ah! Okay, cool. I is less than, I don't know, let's do from the top of the canvas to the end of the canvas, and let's say we want to space them by 10, like I've done it right here, right? So from 0 to 600, so let's do the height divided by 10, because we want to space them like by 10 pixels. Not sure what I'm saying, but it doesn't matter. And then I plus plus, right? Okay, cool. Let's do now arc-oscillation list dot push. So add into that list. And then what do we want to push? I'm just going to copy it, but we basically want to add this, right? There we go. We want to create a new oscillation right here and there. Okay, let me remove this. Great. Okay. Well, okay. And let me think about it. So we want the height to be based on I times 10, because I will be starting at 0 and then 1, but it's going to do it like this loop is going to be happening 60 times, because it's height divided by 10, which height is 600. So height divided by 10, 600 divided by 10, 60, right? So this loop is happening 60 times. So we want to space those, for each of them, we want to space those like by 10 of that 60 number, right? So if I 0, then it's going to be times 10, 0, right? So it's going to be at the top for the first iteration. Then I is 1, then times 10, then we place it at 10 pixels from the top, and so on and so forth. So let's do that, right? Okay, and then the important part, which is the starting thickness. If we could do I, right? But that would go up to 60, which we don't want. We could do possibly I mod, but no, that doesn't work, right? So we will basically want to do exactly the same as this. Yeah, basically the same as this. So let's do exactly the same as this, right? It's cool. Whoa. There. Okay. I mean, we could refactor it later. It would actually be pretty nice to refactor it, but let's do it later. Right now I'm just writing stuff down. Okay, so let's just remove this and change it to thickness. So let's put back whatever we had before. It doesn't matter, I'm fine. It's not really too long to change. There we go. Cool. Is thickness with an H in it? Oh, lol. Okay, sorry, I'm not English normal, so yeah, let me add those H in there just because. I mean, it does have an H. I wasn't sure. I was wondering. Like, I was like, does it? I'm not sure. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Now they are in there. There you go. Okay, I need to add it to these two as well, right? Yeah. There we go. Let's go in arc-oscillation. Let's add those in here. There we go. Okay, that's good. Phew! All right, now these we can just define here, right? Let's do thickness equals, I don't know, 1, and let mod thickness mod equals 1. It doesn't matter, that's fine. Okay, this should create these properly. Oh, no, not true. There you go. These should be created properly right now. Okay. All right. So let me think. Well, there's nothing much to think. We just need to iterate through them and draw them. So I'm going to use a different loop right now, which is basically for every element of that list. Let's call it LM, or we call it arc-oscillation of whatever list you had, right? So like this, there you go. It doesn't work. Why? Let's see the error. Arc-oscillation 1 is not defined. Oh, right, because we have called it arc-oscillation. There you go. That's doing something. It's a bit too squeezed together, I think, or not enough. I don't know. It's doing something cool. I like it. And let's do, since the width and height, let's do maybe like 150 instead of 200. I just want to see different like result. That's cool. So it starts at 1. Let's change the frame rate. Let's see it like in real time. Whoa, that's trippy, man. Okay. Let's do it 1 frame per second. I just want to see, right? So you see min gets bigger, 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 and then goes back down. And let me see. What if, let's put it back to 10 frames per second, that's fine. So I'm thinking, if we said that our max thickness would be, let's say, 20, right? Just some arbitrary, it doesn't matter, some number, right? If it's bigger than 10, I believe the spaces, maybe, let me just do, anyway, whenever we see the kind of those shapes, right? Those kind of triangular shape-ish vases. I don't know what to call those. I think they're going to be longer, right? And I think the black is going to be blacker, right? There's going to be more black when blacks are there, and there's going to be more white when white's there, right? I'm not sure. I'm just doing some hypothesis. Oh, that's cool. I mean, it's different for sure. Okay, let's do maybe, oh, and let's do maybe the spacing divided by 15. Or maybe 20. And here, 20 as well. Ah, that's cool. That's cool. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, nice. So let's do the spacing relative to the Mac thickness, right? Sure. Yeah, that's cool. Let's do -1 because I want to see the last one. -2, -3, -4. Yeah, sure, whatever, it's fine. That's pretty cool. Let's maybe do 10 again. let's do those smaller. So maybe cons width and height, right? So width is going to be, let's say 100, and height is going to be 100 as well. Or maybe let's just say space, like occupied space, right? Say 100, okay, space, and space will be this. There you go. Cool, cool, cool. That's pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. Nice. I won't see it. You may close your eyes for any epileptic reason right now. Oh, that's cool. And it's way too fast, but that's pretty cool. Okay, right. Yeah. Okay, let me just do like 20 FPS. It's not as fast, but cool, cool. All right, now let's see if, let's say we put like 2 other rows on the side of those, right? On the side of this one, we put 2 other rows. Let me cook, okay? Let me just try it out. So this is a row. This is to create a row, right? So should we make a function out of it? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Actually, maybe. Okay, yeah, let's make a function out of it. Well, not right now. Let's just duplicate it. And we'll create a function whenever we need a function for it. Okay, cool. Every one of it is going to be doing the same thing. The only difference is I'm going to reset those 2 back to what they were. Great. Before every function. Well, before every rows. Columns, sorry. Those are just columns. Should be exactly the same result. They're just overlapping every one of them. It doesn't matter. That's fine. So let's do this. So we want to offset those horizontally, right? So let's say the first one is the middle one, or let's say the first one is the left one. We wanted half of the space to the left of the first one, of the middle one. So minus half of the space, right? Or minus the full space? Minus the full space, that's what I said. And let's say we don't, okay, cool. And then the middle one, and then the last one is going to be, if the first one is half, if minus the space, then the last one should be plus the space, right? There you go, that's cool. But now, let's do something interesting. Let's do the middle one being a top arc, right? So top arc. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet. That's nice. And let me do something. I don't want to see those kind of like, I want to like either have it like, I don't know. Let me think about it. I just want what I mean, I just don't want it to be cut off like this. I want it to be like a bit lower down. And higher up for the bottom. So the top part should start a bit lower, and the bottom part should start a bit higher, just so that we see the whole thing. I'm thinking just to update the height. So instead of using height, maybe use the height minus the space plus the max thickness, right? So let's say here. So it'll be the height minus the space plus the max thickness. And let's do all of this in parentheses because we're dividing by the thickness. Right, but we want to offset this plus half of this, right? Plus this divided by 2, right? Yes, there you go. That's now in the middle like I wanted it to. Okay, so let's do const space offset. I don't know if it's a good variable name, but it doesn't matter. Oh, there you go. Space offset, there you go. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm still doing a lot more variables than needed, but doesn't matter. Still giving us the same result? Yeah, okay. So now let's put all of this in a function. I mean, it's just doing it 20 times like this. It wouldn't be fun, right? Just like doing a full column of it, like writing it 50 times, the arc creation and the arc drawing and everything. Too long, way too long. Let's just create a function out of it. So let's put it there. We can move it afterwards, it doesn't matter. So let's call this function create column. Cool. So we want to do exactly this in our function. Is there something I want to pass? Yes, I want to pass the width, right? Duh. Okay, so I want to pass the width. Sure. I'm just wondering. Let me do something. Let me just try out something. I don't know. I just want to see where it is. If I were to do 0 here. So it's in the middle. So we'll divide the plus space. Plus space divided by 2. Plus thickness, max thickness. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let me think. We're almost there. Almost. We just need to create a couple of rows and see the result, right? We're almost there. So let's not care if the code is beautiful. It doesn't matter. Let's just do, let's pass in the variable w, which will be the width, right? Like, the location, right? The x factor instead, not w. It's not width, it's just x, right? So that's cool. So let's do this. X, there you go. We have created our function. Awesome, great. Let's remove off this commented code. Great. Let's call our function in the setup method. That's important. Okay, and let's do our first column being this, right? Let's remove everything else. Let's see if we get the same result. There you go. I'm refreshing the page right now. It's the latest stuff here, right? Cool. Now, let's see how easy it is to create a new column. Oh, shoot, I forgot something. Let's put D as well for direction. Not the best naming, but it doesn't matter. D. Well, let's say that we want the first one to be bottom. Sure. Whoa. There, cool. If we want it to be top, there, cool, awesome. Dope. We want multiple of those. Okay, there we go. Multiple of these. Well, it's the same result. What's the issue? The issue basically is here, our x factor, right? We want space. Yeah, and then we want space times 2. Yeah, and then we want space-time tree, right? Yeah, exactly. There you go, and so on and so forth, right? So we could just do a loop for this. Since we know now that it is this. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 6 fits in the spot. Maybe 5 fits in the spot. Doesn't matter, let's do 6, why not? There you go, cool. Awesome possum. So it's going to be I times in space. There we go. Let's remove all of this. Now, let's do something else as well. Well, let's see. Yeah, okay, it makes exactly what I was expecting. And let's change the space just a little bit to like 80, just so that it fits in our space. Maybe 90. Well, not 890, just 90. Maybe like 95. Yeah, sure, that's cool. Now, let me also just do this so that he can see the full thing. Okay, great. Now, what do we want to do here? Well, we have the direction, but why are we only using top? We could use, like, we could switch in between, right? We could have top, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, right? That could be nice. I don't know what it would look like, but let's try it out. So, top. We want top, bottom, so we want to alternate. So if the I is odd, right? If I modulus 2 is equal to 0, right? Then that means it's going to be even. So when it's even, let's say 1, 2, well, let's say when it's even, it's going to be tops. So it's going to start with top. And then when it's odd, it's going to be bottom. There you go. Awesome. And there we have it. And now we can modify whatever we want. So if we want the thickness to be, I don't know, 20, it still works, gives us pretty much the same result. It's pretty cool. Let's do, I would really like to be able to control how many column there is automatically, right? Automatically, right? And it might not be giving exactly the result I was expecting. It's a bit different. Let's do 15. Just want to see. We could, yeah, let me think about it. We could offset by 5, right? Let's do this here. Well, sure. Let's do initial thickness as well here. Comma initial. I mean not I, but let's say J. I don't know. Let's say T for thickness. That might be better. Okay, cool. T right here. There we go. Cool. Awesome. So, yeah, I know it's not defined. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's do the same thing, right? Let's do this. So, oh, not here, there. Okay, great, there, okay. So whenever there is that, I want to do maybe, let's say, I want to do 1, otherwise I want to do 5. Or max. Thickness divided by 2, there we go. Whoa, what is going on? What is going on? Oh, I know what's going on. No? Then I'm not exactly sure I understand. Oh, well, yeah, okay, floor. There we go. Divided by 3, maybe. Yeah, sure. Why not just do the max thickness? It doesn't matter. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, there you go. Now we have something good. And let's put back 10. And let us do way bigger canvas. Let us do the full screen. Window dot inner. Wow, I cannot write today. Inner width. Window dot inner height. Cool. I mean, there is some stuff in here I don't like. HTML head body. What? Did I really put? No, body is. Oh, you know what? I forgot to reference it. That makes sense. We want to link the CSS. Whoa, style.css. There you go. Now, canvas. Why is it scrolling? I mean, inner width, height, whatever it is. It should be fine, no? What's the issue? What's the issue now? You know what? Let me just cheat a little bit. Let's put this function first at the bottom. Doesn't matter. I mean, it would matter, but it doesn't in this case. So let me just see. Let me cheat a little bit. I just don't like the scrolling. Minus, I don't know, 30, minus 30 as well. Maybe that will fix it. Yeah, there we go. Cool, awesome. There. So now we have pretty much completed the effect. Like I said, you could add some colors into this. You could do pretty much whatever you want. Pretty cool. Awesome. Great. Let me know what you think. And see you next time.